My main challenge this past year has been the shame that I hold around being a woman and how that fits into my personal viewpoint of spirituality and how I dress, how I present myself. And I'm sharing this because I think this may be something a lot of people struggle with. And this whole year has been one large contemplation on modesty and what levels of modesty I believe in for myself personally, and sensuality, what the true nature of sensuality really even is all about, and how that's been misperceived by our society because of the patriarchal viewpoint of what this word indicates, or the misperception of the feminine figure in general in our society. And I am somebody who loves to dress up. I love to do makeup. I love having a feminine form, and I love wearing clothes that accentuate my form. It just makes me feel good and expressive and like myself, and as something that I truly enjoy. And it reached a point where that joy that I have with expressing myself and accentuating my figure got meshed into receiving external validation. And for a long period of my life, I was very confused in this regard, especially when I was younger. I took the external validation I was receiving for my figure as power. I felt like it was what made me powerful. And so I got lost in that validation for a very long time. And this year, I have been healing that wound. And it has been very confusing. It has been a very confusing time for me, learning how to detach my value and my worth from that external validation while simultaneously not falling into the shame of having a feminine figure. I think what was so confusing for me is that I shamed myself for falling into that external validation from the male gaze. I shamed myself for that. And so therefore I began to shame my body. I began to shame my figure and shame the part of myself that enjoys my figure and that enjoys having my figure accentuated. And I'm just now coming out of that. I'm just now coming out of that and like kind of coming back full circle of like, no, this like truly is like how I love to express myself. It's not because I need that external male validation. It's because this is me. This is my body. And how I choose to express myself and express my figure is completely up to me. And it has nothing to do with the male gaze. It has nothing to do with needing external validation. That validation may come with it. I may have people who are complimenting me. I may have people who are staring at me, but that isn't an inherently shameful thing. Nothing I ever did was inherently shameful. It's just me coming back home to myself and realizing that I don't need that external male validation, that I don't need it to know my worth. I don't need it to know that I love my figure. I don't need it. But it's allowed to be there without me feeling like I need to shame myself or shame my sexuality or shame my physical appearance because I'm receiving it. And it sometimes can feel, I hate to say icky, but yeah, it can feel kind of icky sometimes when you're not looking for that external male gaze, when you're not looking for that validation and then you receive it. It can sometimes feel really icky for me personally. And so for so long, this year, I've been kind of hiding myself a little bit more. And I'm beginning to realize that that was okay, and that was something I needed to do for myself this year in order to go through this processing of my shame. But now I'm coming back full circle again, and I'm just realizing that it was always me. It was always me who loved my form, who loved my figure, who loved wearing clothes that enhance my figure. It was because I loved it. And I got lost in the external validation for a little while. And so for a little while, I thought I was only doing it for that validation. And so I needed to revert back into modesty a little bit to realize, no, it started with me. It started because I enjoyed expressing myself this way. And then I got confused and lost in the validation, but there's no need to shame that part of myself that enjoys my figure so that I don't need to shame that part of myself, because there was never anything wrong with me. There was never anything wrong with liking my body. There was never anything wrong with enjoying my sensuality and sexuality and my expression of being a woman. There was never anything wrong with it. And I'm sharing this because I'm hoping that it will help somebody who may be in that state of pain that I have been in this year, and maybe offer you a new perspective, something that I have kind of just come full circle to in the past few weeks. There's not anything wrong with you for enjoying your body and enjoying your figure and enjoying the way that you present yourself. And just because you're receiving that external male gaze that makes you feel icky, that doesn't mean that there's something inherently wrong with you for expressing yourself that way, if that makes sense. So I hope this helps somebody. I love you.